Welcome to the Good Karma Sport Fishing Podcast. I'm your host, Captain Ryan Van Fleet. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in and happy holidays. So I'm going to jump into this podcast right away. I have something that I wish to address, and it has to do with catching mutton snappers. And I've been getting these comments about how easy it is and what I do is really easy. People take it for granted that I catch these fish, and the fish are up to 34 inches consistently. So there you go. And it is extremely hard to do that on a consistent basis. And I do it all year round, not just when it's easy. I know who's out there fishing the moons. I know who's out there fishing when they're biting. I have to do it every day. Tides, shitty tide, bad moon, cold water. The fish are there all the time. And you just have to work harder and you have to fish harder. So here's what I did, honestly. And I'm going to let you guys, I want to be very honest and very blunt. And as you guys, those who know me very well know that I'm very blunt about this kind of stuff. So it took me an extremely long time and a lot of practice to get to where I'm at now, okay? And I have to tell you, it was brutal. And this was over 5 years ago. Now, I was putting together some scratch bites of muttons, like scratch fish, 5s and 6s, and a couple here, a couple there, a couple big ones every now and then, bycatch, all that stuff. But as far as consistently looking for them and targeting them, I wasn't there yet, okay? I didn't put myself out on social media either to be a mutton snapper expert, nor will I now because I like to go fishing for whatever's biting, okay? So there you go. That's how I feel about it, okay? Anytime you're fishing, it's all good. That's my stance on fishing. It doesn't matter where you're at, what you're targeting. So let's go back 5 years, okay? I needed to learn how to consistently catch these fish all the time, not just when it was easy. Shallow water, deep water, patch reefs. So what I did was I spoke to my wife, Melinda, and I said, hey, I'm going to take a major hit here because I need to fess up my own gas money, my own money for line, and I need to be out there all the time learning how to mutton fish, okay? Anchor fishing, drift fishing, all different types of mutton snapper fishing, wrecks, reefs, live bottom, everything, okay? Everything. And I had to learn how to do it my way, okay? Not just how the other guys were doing it and how they were setting their drifts up. I didn't like any of that, what the standard style is, because it just doesn't fit me and my boat and how my boat operates and a natural presentation of bait to the fish. So between charters, on good days and bad days, I spent money on bait, I spent money on gas, and I went out there and I fished. And I fished. It wasn't about the number of fish I caught. It was about learning. It was about trial and error. I studied a lot. And I was all by myself. I would run 2 lines, okay? And I manually cranked each one. Okay, and this was in all types of sea conditions, all types of weather. If it was doable, I was going. So I went. So that's and I did some anchor fishing. I found anchor fishing's okay, but what I learned a lot of things about anchor fishing, and especially nowadays. So that's something I'll talk about a little bit later. So I worked my ass off until I figured it out. I did not care about what I put in the box. I did not care about social media at all. I always believe, one thing if I take a stance about social media, if you put yourself out there to be an expert, you very well better be an expert, okay? You very well better be an expert at it before you take somebody out there and charge them, okay? I was not an expert at it, okay? I just was a charter boat fisherman. I knew where I needed to be. I didn't want to put myself out there I just wasn't ready. Okay. I needed to master things. People found me naturally over the course of time. Okay. They just heard about me and that's how things worked with me. So I I met some cool dudes during the Jimmy Jig stuff, and I just kept going out there and going fishing. The fish came naturally, and there were days where I totally got my ass kicked. But man, when I caught fish, man, I celebrated it. I did. I was like so happy, and I didn't run out and post it on social media and say, "Look at what I did today. Come book a trip with me." I didn't do any of that bullshit. Okay? So I just kept grinding and getting better. I didn't take the easy way out. I knew all the spawning aggregates. I knew where everybody went and anchored, and I just didn't do it because I wanted to find my own areas. I wanted to learn how fish moved. I wanted to know when they moved into those areas, why they did it. So I put some great stuff in my blogs about spawning and when you should know the mutton spawn is probably going to happen. It doesn't actually happen. Everybody's like, oh, it's going to happen on May 5th at such and such a time. I was like, you guys keep thinking about that, man, because shit's changing. I see it changing all the time. And in order to be good, you got to practice. You got to know what they want. You got to know when they're going to be here. And yeah, do you guys think that like all the greats, man? I mean, I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan, and the guy like worked his ass off, okay? But one thing about Michael Jordan is that it wasn't always about Michael Jordan, okay? And that's why I really liked him. I mean, I grew up in Illinois, a huge Bull fan, and what he did back then, man, he like elevated his team members, and I was like, that's what a great athlete does. And everybody's like, oh, you can be a really good fisherman, but when you're getting your ass kicked out there and you got 50 other boats out there around you, what happens? Are you able to catch fish? Do you have the strategy? Fishing's more about a strategy right now than going fishing, to be honest with you. So that's something else that I learned, and I had to learn that the hard way. And yeah, COVID put me into that situation, and I could have like rolled up in a ball and like gave in to the fishing pressure and all the different changes that are going on out there, but I didn't. I figured some shit out. I really did. And it's awesome. It's working very well. So, guys, you have to adapt. All the athletes adapt. It's kind of like when you're getting rushed. Like, look at that. Look at a quarterback, man. He's getting his ass kicked, and you tell me how he can see that receiver that's down after got all these fucking dudes attacking him, and he can actually see that guy amongst all that chaos. I mean, that's the way you should be out there. You should have a clear state of mind. You should tune it all out, and then come out have a good strategy. That's what a good athlete does. Fishing is no different. Hunting is no different. The best are able to see through all the bullshit and make it happen, okay? So some days it just doesn't happen, okay? Some days it just doesn't happen. That's the nature of fishing. But when you can go home at the end of the day and you can actually look at yourself in the mirror and say, did you do everything you could? Everything you could. And I can honestly say I do. If I can't, then I know I didn't work hard enough. And I don't want to be that guy looking in the mirror and saying, oh, you didn't work hard enough today. So that's just me. Okay. So when I get back into when I was practicing the muttons fishing, okay, and it wasn't about catching guys, it was about learning. And every day I go out there, I'm looking for something, okay? I'm looking for something. I learned something with wahoo fishing I never thought I would have learned, and it just came to me. I found a nice pattern. It was something I'd never seen, and it worked. So it worked with big fish, okay? It worked with big fish. We ended up catching 2 55-pounders over the course back-to-back in 2 days. It wasn't about the tides either, so it wasn't about that. Just stuff that's been in my face every day, and it's just all of a sudden it just like clicked in my brain what was going on. And honestly, there's only 1% that can like consistently catch all the time, even on the tough days. But you know why? Because they do the damn work, and they practice, and they work hard at it, and they make it look easy. They make it look easy, okay? That's the secret, making it look easy. I tell my clients when they get on the boat, okay, I tell them when they get on the boat, my job is to make this look super easy. If it doesn't look easy today, that means it's a little bit of a challenge for me, and And I have to warn them is that I kind of take it to another level when it gets a little challenging, because I want them to catch fish, okay? And that's how I look at it. I work my ass off every day. It is not easy, and it is not easy to do what I do every day as far as going out and catching big muttons. Big muttons up to 34 inches most days, and even on days when they're not supposed to bite because the moon ain't right or the tide ain't right, or my neighbor from Miami told me that they're not going to bite today, so I shouldn't go. Let me tell you something. If your buddy tells you that you shouldn't go, you probably should, because it's such a pirate world down here. And that's honest to God's truth. There's a reason why I stay in my own lane, because I stay focused. I stay focused on my clients. I want them to have the absolute best possible time. Okay? The absolute best possible time. So it is not easy. And yeah, I've had to deal with a lot of people coming up on me and spots and all that stuff. And I just get a good laugh because they don't really know. Learning a spot takes many years, how they set up, where they're at, what's there, how many fish are there, what rock they're going to be on, what side of the rock are they going to be on, what are they going to eat today, how are they going to eat it. There's a lot of little secrets out there, guys. So there's a lot more to it, okay? So there you go. Guys, I am super excited because, I've been doing the rigging crew now for, I think, almost 3 years. And it's an awesome group. I really love the guys, and it's awesome sharing information and different tips for them as far as rigs. The group, we focus on rigging, okay? But I feel that there's a need for a rigging crew too, okay? And I'm stoked about it. I'm super excited because I cannot wait to share my knowledge in rigging crew 2, and it's just going to be awesome. So rigging crew 1 is $49 a month, and rigging crew 2 is going to be $279 a month, okay? Now, what happens with rigging crew 2? We do a live lesson once a month, and then 2 weeks later, we do a question and answer, okay? So there's going to be a lot more to this. I am super excited about Rigging Crew 2 because I've been wanting to put this together for a long time, and I have a nice structure for it of what I'm going to share. And like I said, it's a live call once a month, and we do another session 2 weeks later, which is question and answer, okay? And they're going to be both recorded via Zoom, okay? And the cost for Rigging Crew 2 only is $279. Now, if you wish to belong to Rigging Crew 1 and Rigging Crew 2, the cost will be $299 a month. And there will be a pay in full option as well for those that want to commit to learning, okay? It's going to be badass. I'm super excited about it. Now, I put together the first 3 months, and we're going to start in January. So the first session in January is going to be targeting wahoo using live bait, the secrets. And yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that for now. It's going to be badass. February, Seymour map secrets for wahoo and muttons. And deep dropping. There are a lot of secrets in that map, okay? And I'm going to share with you guys how to make your life so easy, where you don't need to hire a guide to show you how to use this map to actually find what you're looking for. Shit that you're not going to find on YouTube. That I can tell you, because I figured some shit out with that map, and yeah. So, and I'm not sponsored by Seymour Map, by the way. So I'm going to be using my own Seymour, and I'm going to teach you guys a lot of good stuff. Okay? So I'm just going to leave it at that. I can't share any more with that because I'm super stoked about that one. And then March and April can be considered two of the hardest months in the Keys, okay? It's like the transition between winter and summer. So winter and spring, it's just a weird time, lots of wind, and a lot of guys strike out. And I hate to tell you, a lot of guys get their ass kicked in March and April. And I was one of those guys, but I'm going to teach you my secrets for how I fish in March and April. Okay? and some transitional stuff. Not just catching like kingfish and shit. I'm going to teach you guys how to catch some quality stuff. So kingfish are cool fish. I don't get a lot of requests for those lately, so nor do I get requests for amberjacks. So I people like to target muttons and all that other shit. So yellow eyes, and I do some of that stuff. I'll do more in the spring, and that's going to be part of the program as well. Yellow eyes, big vermilions, golden tilefish, queen snappers, all that stuff. I'm going to share my knowledge with you guys, stuff that I haven't shared in podcasts, and stuff that you will not find on YouTube. So there you go. If you're going to find it, you're going to have to dig through it, and I'm going to share it with you guys through the through crew 2, not through crew 1. Crew 1 we focus on rigging, and I feel that there is a definite need for crew 2, hence why I'm creating rigging crew number 2. Super excited. So that's all I got for today, guys. I really want you guys to have fun, enjoy time with your friends and family. Shoot me an email if you're interested in joining up with Crew 2. It's going to be awesome. I'm super excited about it. I've been wanting to do this for a few years, and now is the time to do that, because I really do feel that a lot of guys want to get to that next level. And, unfortunately, there's a lot more to it than just watching YouTube, watching videos. I want to give you guys some secret sauce stuff that is going to make your life so much easier. Simplicity is the key. You guys all know me that have fished with me, what my style is, and my goal is to make it. I want you to be able to get on your boat and make it look easy. That's Crew 2. You can email me at goodkarmaryan@gmail.com. And if you're looking to go fishing with me in January, what we're going to be doing in January, we're going to be doing targeting wahoo mostly, using some different styles. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And I'm going to make it look as easy as possible when we go mutton fishing. Grouper is closed. We will not be doing any grouper fishing. It is all catch and release. And I do not believe in catching and releasing groupers. So for many reasons. And when it's windy, we're going to be hitting the patch reefs, having a good time, catching whatever bites, muttons, cobias, all that other good shit that shows up in there this time of year. Yellowjack. Everyone wants to catch a yellowjack nowadays. So I remember back in the day, nobody wanted to catch those things. And the locals, that was our local secret, was the yellowjack, because they do taste amazing. So that and Cero mackerel, those are popular now, and which is awesome. So it's awesome to see people want to catch those fish now versus what they were like, before YouTube. So that's one place where YouTube has helped, was let people know that fish is amazing, along with Cero mackerel. Cero mackerel, in my opinion, is comparable to wahoo. It's a local favorite down here, and I cannot wait for the big Ceros to show up. So much fun. Thank you guys again for listening. I will be back on a regular podcasting schedule, so I'll probably try to put out one a week here over the next, depending on what my schedule is and all that stuff. But yeah, probably we'll start putting one back out once a week, help you guys out, and that's all I got. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and remember, anytime you're fishing, it's all good.